So let's see. We got some buzzers standing by. Look at that.
Be really disruptive.
Oh,
Hello.
This is my
I'm just
personal
gonna put
hell.
it away because
All
I
right.
feel like I'm gonna deafen someone.
We got multiple choice questions. These knuckleheads got some buzzards. Nothing can surely go wrong. Buzzards.
Wait, can we have
I
some
like
rules?
making the quizzes. I don't like.
Put it on the edge.
Put it on the edge. All right. We have to follow the rules. All right. First question. Thankfully, I don't have to participate
And we
because
have to
I ain't
let
gonna
him
front.
finish
I know
reading.
nothing. All right. Standing at 632 meters tall, Shanghai Tower is the blank tallest building in the world. Third, fifth, sixth, or eighth. Buzz. Mimi.
Third.
Third.
I'm gonna go with fifth. Just
gonna go with fifth?
to give a different one. I was gonna go with third.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
complete guess.
All right. Let's see. Survey says. What is it? Because what is it? There it is. Sorry, I can't speak
Third.
English properly. There it is. Third, Mimi. She's your winner, man. I miss our
Beautiful.
soundboard.
Beautiful.
Our America's soundboard. We just need all the sound effects. All right, next question.
Insane.
Yeah, that is actually.
We have to go.
That's massive.
What's one and two?
If the teams win, do we get 4 days off as well?
No.
Burj Khalifa's one.
All right, next question. Roll it. Let's see what we got here. All right, what is the city flower?
All right, what is the city
Shanghai?
flower?
Is it the osmanthus
osmanthus,
fragrans, the Yulon magnolia, the rhododendron, or
Dendron, or
I have no idea, but I'm gonna go for the second one.
the Yulon magnolia?
Yeah.
All right, Mimi,
I
what
think
is your
she's probably right, but I'm gonna guess number one. It's probably made of
the osmanthus fragrans?
That's definitely
That's my nickname back in high school. All right, let's see. What?
Third one. Now you're saying.
It's probably. Oh, it's the Yulon. Oh, we're tied 1-1.
Very cool name. It matches the city.
Yeah, we're tied 1-1. This is it. The tension is on. We got
real
one more.
flowers, all of them.
Yeah, the Yulon. You don't know about the Yulon magnolia?
No,
I know all about the Yulon magnolia.
At least I need to see that one.
It's a color. It's one of the colors. All right, next question. Let's go ahead and roll it. Let's see what we have. Shanghai has the most blank of any city in the world. Bookstores, cosmetic shops, gas stations, or coffee shops. Mimi.
Coffee shops?
Coffee says Kakuka.
I'm gonna go for cosmetics, and I'm gonna hope that's
Can you
right.
hear the voice
I'm gonna
from?
go with bookstores. I would like to think that
Yeah, I like
everyone here likes.
There's a lot of libraries around. We went to the mall the other day, and there was a library like outside, just
Like a
kind of
library or a books, like a public library? That's cool.
Okay, brother.
I'm a
Let's
big
find out.
library head.
All right, big library head over here. Survey says. What do we have? Who's the right answer? Coffee shops.
Jeez, they're everywhere.
Wait, 8,500.
Hello.
That's not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot, but most of the world. But it's a city of the third biggest city in the world by population.
And I completely understand.
29 million people.
But I mean, that's a lot of choice.
I mean, what is that per capita? 29 million. What is that per capita? 29 million. That's like.
Oh, I can't hear. Hello, Rajan. Hello. Hi. You're welcome.
you've been here now for quite some time. I'm curious, how was the acclimation?
Accustomed to the language, food, it's a bit different, like not being able to communicate to people that easily. But over like the past year, I guess now, is gotten a lot better. I've got used to the food, I've gotten used to a bit of like Chinese. It's not the best yet, but still I can communicate a little bit. Yeah, work in progress. That's right. And yeah, I think like I've just got a bit accustomed to living here and like the practice and stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, the more that you're just kind of involved in it, the faster it kind of comes to
Yeah.
you. You know, as somebody who's been living in Korea for about 8 years after being in the States for the rest of my entire life, I'm right there with you. So I understand kind of what that process is like.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that it's coming along well. What do you think the fan reception has been like for you from joining the team? Did you ever feel like you had to prove yourself to the Chinese fans, or do you feel like they were really welcoming from the outset?
I think a mixture of both. Like, they're definitely welcoming, but as like I guess import, like maybe the players would be thinking of like imports, maybe like Demon One or like Yay, and these players had already proven themselves, and I'm not have much of a big following and stuff. So when I first got here, yeah, definitely I feel like I had to prove something, and the placements of my team have been pretty good. So I've got quite a lot of fans here now, so it's great.
Awesome. I mean, it feels like, yeah, you certainly have proven yourself at this point. You know, international appearances, taking down EDG, being that second team coming into this event, it seems like that has been going your way. But on a similar note, you know, now getting that acceptance of the fans, do you feel like, given that you've been here for about a year, that you're now going into this event, getting ready to play in front of that home crowd, have that home crowd advantage behind you?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have a bit of an advantage, being that also no travel, as well as the fans. Definitely, the fans are going to be rooting for us.
Awesome.
I definitely feel that.
Do you have any message not to put you on the spot, do you have anything you want to say to the fans ahead of that?
Just thank you for all the support. It means the world to me and my team, and keep supporting us.
Awesome. I have one last quick note. We have seen, since Madrid, some changes for the team as far as your roles are concerned. I'm just curious, where did that come from? Was that a player-based decision? Was that the coaching staff? Was it the Berlin mastermind, as everyone likes to say? Like, what kind of brought along that normalization? Because it seems like it's been working really well for you.
I think just like we wanted to try new things because we were sure that the meta would change, and that has recently, the Viper nerf and stuff. So we thought that maybe me going to a more flex role would mean that we can play like double initiator, and that means like Life can just focus on getting more kills and stuff because he's a really good duelist. So we just thought that if I can play flex, that we can also have double initiator, and it seems, yeah, it's been working out.
Our last question, can we expect more Clove?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I love to hear that. I'm sure the fans are going to love to hear that as well. Well, Autumn, thank you for sitting down with me. Best of luck in the matches.
Thank you.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into the opener and talk about FPX. Now, day one was full of firsts, right? You heard Autumn talk about it. Well, they did it. They managed to pull out the Clove, right, on the global stage. And on top of that, they got their first global map win, their first global match win, all in front of the home crowd. So this team has been popping off, but one guy in particular truly has been the life of the party, so to speak, for this team.
That.
You like that?
Absolutely love that.
It's good.
Yes.
I worked on that all week.
Big thumbs down from me.
How dare you? I will punch you in the neck.
We don't allow that. No, but yeah, Life definitely. I mean, seen crazy plays all over the board. I think that he struggled a bit when he came to that first map. But hey, since then, I think that it's also kind of brilliant that Autumn says they need some flexibility in the team when they play 3 controllers. Like, do you really need to flex? Like, it's good to know that there's going to be more plans, but what we've seen so far has been spectacular, and I really feel that there is a buff coming in with all the crowd standing behind them.
Yeah, there absolutely is. Also getting to play with home, play at home, kind of sleep in your own bed, be familiar with the food you're eating, and kind of your sleep schedule. All these little things are so important to really perform at that top level. But Life is such an in these plays. But he's also like the
It's disruptive, it's chaotic, right? And if they can find a way to like channel that chaos into their favor, it becomes very, very dangerous to go up against not only a player like that, but a team overall like this. I agree with you. I think that Berlin has to have a massive brain, because we know that the triple controller is something very disruptive, but the way that they're using it, it really looks like everything is intentional, even sending Life on a suicidal mission.
Yeah, that's completely fair here. But Life has been having a great event so far. Maybe he can keep that going today. We were seeing him on the Clove, right? Really put that work in. And yeah, as you guys were talking about before, this is the kind of guy who's just always there, front and center, just trying to get, his hands dirty in the action.
I do think that kind of my biggest worry with FPX is once more and more teams are seeing how they play, once more teams are able to kind of scrim against them and get used to their style, I think they become easier and easier to beat. I think the hardest time to play FPX is the first time you're playing. They're very similar to Paper X in that regard.
But then don't you think it will be very, very interesting now that they've won, now that they're going to play more matches, to see how they adapt on top of that? Do you expect them to be aggressive, to go in this crazy place? Now imagine the Genji is just going to be super prepared for that they're going to give them the time and the space, and they're just going to be waiting for them. What is FPX going to do then? That is what I want to see.
I also think that they're like the one team thus far we've seen that believes that the Viper nerf is actually like an important thing that they're looking to change a lot of their strategies around. We've already seen them shift one comp to not play Viper and say in interviews that they're taking those nerfs seriously. So I'm looking now towards their other maps, things we might see today, like their Lotus, for example. Are they going to make a change there? Are they going to move away? Because this is a really creative team who cooks up.
Cover me, cover me, cover me!
It's not defeat that defines you. It's how you bounce back. Reach your impossible. Lenovo Legion.
Player, because honestly, there's so many of these FPX players that you will just watch a round and they will do the craziest thing that no one would expect, and half the time it just works. And Berlin, he'll either drop 2 kills or 30. I've seen the 2-kill games. It's rough, but the other day he was stellar.
Yeah, but I feel like they've been, I would like to hope that here in this situation and the way that they're playing here, maybe will warrant a little bit more, I don't want to say consistency.
The universe only allows Harbor to get 16 opening fights and win 12 of them so many times.
Oh, that is true.
That's my belief.
All right, well, speaking of Berlin, let's actually check in with Yinsu, who got some words with Berlin earlier today.
Welcome back, Berlin. Let me just take you for a moment of your time. I've got Luna here to do some translations. Now, your opponents have always said that you guys are very unpredictable. So I wanted to ask you, as an IGL, do you also want to give out those calls to make your team unpredictable? Are you doing that on purpose?
之前你的对手也说过，觉得你们的队伍总是能够出人意料，打法风格上面。那你觉得作为队内的 IGL， 你觉得你也是其中的一部分吗？或者说你故意的想让他们打他们一个措手不及？
我觉得那肯定的，就是我们队的风格非常多变，然后我在指挥上也会加很多奇思妙想进去，对，但是这种东西肯定不会是赛前准备的，或者说怎么样，这都是临场的东西。就像你不会想到有一个会拿我定推出一个门，对。
I think in our games, I would like to say definitely yes. Because sometimes we'll create some special things and add in the game, but I wouldn't say we prepared it before the matchup. Sometimes it's instant reaction, and you wouldn't imagine that there will be one holding the Odin and get out the door.
Oh, thank you very much, Luna. Berlin, 加油!
All right, what do you think of what Berlin said there, Mimi?
I feel like the on-the-fly stuff is like the epitome of FPX, right? Because they have all these little ideas, but I feel like so often it's not about like a big picture round idea. It's more about how are we going to take this little piece of space and then seeing an opportunity, how do we set up from there? That can end up in having some really good rounds, but it can also have rounds like we were seeing the other day, where they're hitting sites with 10 seconds left on the clock. They're having their melons moment and losing rounds that they shouldn't. So again, everything about FPX is high risk, high reward. But when it works, it looks incredible.
It's super entertaining, but it's good to see. It's good to see, and we definitely see it on the game as well. We were talking about Sunsen just a minute ago, and at the beginning they always started with the same default time after time. And at the beginning, they always started with the same default time after time. And you know, the plan is there. It's just, they just want to see what the other team is going to do first. It's like, okay, I'm going to start here. I'm going to have all the space that I want. I'm going to take mid. What are you going to do? You're not going to do anything? Okay, so let me see. We're going to go for the 5th one here, and we're going to send someone here, then you go here. And nobody can be prepared for that.
Yeah.
I just wonder if it's really that on the fly. If it's really like feeling based, or is it like set struts?
Well, I think that's why they play every round so slow to start, so that they can kind of find that feeling.
So guys, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think this contrasts greatly to their opponents, right? Gen G, because this is a squad that we have praised, especially yesterday. We were talking about how this squad is very focused on, playing like just good, honest Valorant, right? Having plans and consistency. Now, the thing is, like, this Gen G squad, right, finished 2nd in Masters Madrid and over Leviathan. So this is a team that's riding high right now, feeling pretty good about themselves, especially after their successes. But most definitely, it is going to be interesting to see how they deal with a very haphazard FPX team that likes to really throw things at the wall.
For sure. It has been a great year for Gen G, though, going on a run in kickoff to qualify to Masters Madrid, going all the way to the finals in that one, and now, again, getting the runner-up position back regionally in Stage 1 to make it to another global event. I think the performance they showed in that first match versus Leviathan is exactly the Gen G we were hoping to see and kind of missing seeing a little bit in the group stage of Pacific, right? We had players like Karon hitting that form from Masters Shanghai again. We were getting moments from Meteor again. And the macro calling and ideas from this team, I also think we're back in that form they had towards Madrid, which gives me a lot of faith going forward for Gen G.
Yeah, exactly. And if we think about the first map and Icebox against Leviathan, we know that Aspas had a magnificent game and that Sector could not show up to the same level, right? But he was also able to have that mind reset and on the second one just go completely bollocks. So I actually love the fact that they can show this on LAN, that they can also have the resilience to be like, okay, that didn't go as planned, but hey, the next two maps are going to be very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just like the multi-kills, too, from these guys. There's been so many moments where we're seeing those guys, your Meteors, your Karons, go up and, like, win rounds single-handedly.
Well, that goes to, literally what we were just saying, like, the fact that you have players on this team that could just step up at any point in time. Doesn't matter who it is. Everyone can do the thing whenever they need to, when the moment is called upon them, they can step up at that moment. That's what makes this Gen G team so scary. It's why, honestly, like, you're looking at this and they have to feel like one of the favorites to make it out of this Swiss stage, just because of the fact that they have so many weapons available to them.
I think most people would say they are the favorite of the Swiss stage.
Yeah, exactly. Based on previous results, on what
especially
we saw
yesterday as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it was very convincing to me. Also, that last map, when we think about Breeze, they run a composition that I personally love for a map that I hate, but I personally love it. And the combos that they were having, how still they were 100%. They didn't look 1% tired after having a long day, after losing that first map. Everything was into place. They seem so fresh in every single round. It's not only that there is a plan, everybody is giving it all.
Yeah.
Even Lakia, like.
Yeah. Lakia was actually playing great in that final map. The guy setting up so much of that, though, Karon, the rookie for this team, I feel like he's so good, in particular on that Astra. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's his first year playing pro play. Just because he's impressive doesn't change the fact that he's a rookie. But he's hitting that form again. His util usage on Breeze is incredible. He's the guy setting up all those combo plays with the Yoru, and the timing is always perfect. This team is such a perfectly coordinated unit, and I think that will actually make FPX's style a little bit tough today, because they're really good at punishing teams who are relying on individual stars, who are taking risks in pushing forward. So I definitely think Gen G is a pretty heavy favorite stylistically.
Yeah, and a massive part of that as well is Munchkin, and Yinsu actually got an opportunity to get some words with him ahead of the match. Yinsu, what you got?
Hi, Munchkin. Great performance yesterday. Now, you guys continue to improve in a year where everyone else is struggling to be consistent. I wanted to ask you, how do you do it?
Just matchup, yeah.
That's it? All right, okay. Thank you very much for your time. That's the secret, you guys.
They don't slack off.
That's good.
They're not a couple slackers on that team. You love to hear it, right? Because obviously you don't want to slack off.
I mean, after that answer, could you imagine that FPX is the one team to throw them off their game?
I mean, they are a weird team to play against.
Hear me out. Yeah, but that would be so interesting, though.
I wonder if they've scrimmed before.
Probably.
I feel like probably, right? Because I know sometimes some of the Chinese teams and the Pacific teams will scrim. So that could be an element of familiarity, too. Also, Gen G, very used to playing against Paper X. They're a team I really trust to shut down this style.
Yeah, good point there. You guys were talking about one player earlier, though, which was Karon, because there's a lot of hype up with the Texture Aspas matchup, but funny enough, the kill leader for that game was Karon, and he was doing great work across the board.
It's not even surprising anymore.
Yeah, honestly. It truly isn't. Yeah, and I think that just leans right back into what we were talking about with Gen G. Just have so many weapons on this team. It just feels like at any point in time, if it's Karon, if it's Texture, if it's Lakia, it could be Meteor, depending. Like, it just doesn't matter. Everyone has that pop-off potential.
I'm still surprised by what Karon did, especially when he was playing on the Viper. We've seen some teams missing out a little bit on the timing, on the new timings, on when to use the utility, because of course you cannot stall for that long. You have to be much more selective, and probably Karon is the one that I've seen struggling the least with that, adapting to it.
And also, just for some context for people who maybe weren't watching Pacific this stage and are just kind of coming off Master Shanghai with really high stocks in this guy, he didn't necessarily struggle, but he was a man. He was but a man. He was playing fine in most of his matches, and Gen.G was solid. But you do love to see, for this team's success, to have him return to the global stage and immediately have the same performances we saw when they made that final back in Madrid.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you guys are really impressed by Gen.G.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It's because I do agree with what Yinsa say. It's about the consistency. Most of the teams have struggled a lot. Even like most of the teams that we saw from Americas, none of them, and from EMEA, one of them, you know, made back-to-back events. It is surprising, you know. Paper X is still, you know, Paper X. You know, it will come in time. It will come in time. But it's crazy to see that they're able to keep it up.
Well, let's see. This was a segue. If all the fans agree with you, who do they find most impressive coming out of the Swiss stage here? So, Gen.G, the fans agree.
I know I said people shouldn't vote for Gen.G because they've met expectations, but they're very good. They're very good. I just had sky-high expectations for Gen.G already.
Yeah, I mean, you had already set them up. You put them on a pedestal already, you know, and you were like, they have to be good.
I think they're top 3 this event.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think they could, if they keep playing like this, they could go.
I haven't said that about any team yet.
They can make the
That's
final.
I've said that about.
Okay.
I mean, they've done it before at international.
I'm my own
I said
woman.
we.
I'm not part of this collective with you. Look at our chits. Get your chair away.
All right.
I won't because there's a mark.
We're running out of time, so let's go ahead and check out the predictions for today. And they're in. Yinsu went with FPX. Maybe she got inspired by Mimi, so decided to go that route. Everyone went Gen.G. And then we get basically, I'm shocked, Paperton went with G2.
G2 was good in their debut.
I know, I just assumed that, you know.
I think that people will react a lot to the Team Heretics win over DRG, but let's be honest, DRG is looking like the weakest team at the event. I think there's reason to not be fully sold on Team Heretics yet.
Come on. Did you not see Wood yesterday? You gotta believe.
I mean, I credit them. I do believe.
See, and look,
Even Mimi goes to
I'm
Gen.G.
just sticking with Valen and G2 just of pure bias. Okay, so I'm sticking with them the whole way through.
My big thing, GB, is I love that for you.
Hey, thank you so much. That's my big thing as well. But honestly, I'm excited to see, you know, like Voot go up against this Gen.G roster and see how he potentially breaks things down.
You mean G2?
Oh, sorry, G2 roster. I'm excited as well to see this FPX Gen.G game. It's just going to be absolutely awesome. And we got the predictions in. We know from you guys as well who has impressed you the most. There's obviously so much on the line today.
Qualification.
This is that's right. This is qualification.
You want to break? You want to get into playoffs? You only have to win today.
Oh, it's all you have to do. It's FPX versus Gen.G, G2 Esports versus Heretics. Day 3 high starts right now.
And now it's starting by. क्या हिंदी में कमेंट्री
One of the hardest matches I feel like I've played in a long time, so this was a big win for us.
Jonah will be the last one standing here for G2. Oh, okay. This man is not having it.
Nice! Jonah, you're the best, bro. Jonah is the vibes merchant of G2. In terms of mental resiliency, I have to credit him. You know, there would be heartbreaking rounds or crazy situations that didn't go our way, and he was able to just kind of keep the mood high. Having a guy who just keeps the mood light is really important.
I think in Madrid we were carried away, like too hyped, then we stopped losing, and then it's kind of like a sugar crash. I think since Madrid we did change a lot. One of the biggest changes is our emotional state on the stage. If we go very deep or win the event, like it just shows like how strong is our mental and how skilled we are.
It would mean the world to me and my team to just come out and show our best and come out with some victories.
Lightsour's on a solo mission. You gotta buy some time. Two side. The lockdown invested. Lightsour dancing around it, looking to take some fights! And they do it! Their very first win on international stage, and it's on home soil. FPX
心有点小小的紧张，因为毕竟在就是自家门口打比赛，说的就很难看嘛，对不对？对，还是扛住了压力，对，然后主要是对没有辜负的那种感觉。
It's over. Sen City, here to play, here to stay, and history has
FPX is like
일단 2등이라는
क्या बोलते हैं?
아쉬운 성적을 냈지만 우승을
Like paper
했더라면
access
좀 더
है कुछ
저희가
अभी.
자만해지지 않았을까라는 생각이
Like
들고
high risk, high reward वाला.
활동도 해보는 게 저한테는 굉장히 좋은 뭐랄까 그냥 마인드를 다시 잡기에 좋은 성적인 것 같습니다. 항상 잘하는 상대들만 모인 곳이니까 그냥 우리 것만 잘하자라는 얘기를 많이 한 것 같습니다.
我想用杰特的那个看招，小心看招，我们来了。
नमस्कार देवी व्यूअर्स, सज्जनों स्वागत है आप सबका Valorant Master Shanghai
Valorant
ट्रेलर
Bunky,
मीट मेरा नाम
yeah.
है Phoenix and alongside me is the Valorant fanatic Mr. Spartus और अब वक्त आ चुका है इस स्विस स्टेज को आगे बढ़ाने का और आज कुछ ऐसे मैच रहने वाले हैं जिनके लिए एक्साइटमेंट का लेवल स्काई हाई हो चुका है। तो Spartus कैसे हैं आप एंड हाउ मच एक्साइटेड यू आर?
बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि स्विच स्टेज है तो फॉर्मेट बहुत सबको सिंपल सा पता है कि पहले आपको 2 मैचेस जीतने हैं बिफोर यू लूज द 2। सो अब विनर टीम्स आज जो खेलने वाली है, अगर अपना अगला मैच डेफिनेटली जीतने वाली है, वो सीधा क्वालीफाई कर जाएगी टुवर्ड्स द प्लेऑफ्स। तो एफपीएक्स वर्सेस जेनजी, इनमें से जो भी टीम यहां जीतेगी वो सीधा प्लेऑफ्स में अपनी जगह कंफर्म कर लेगी। आज
भाई देखिए एफपीएक्स ने जब अपना पहली सीरीज खेली थी एंड फाइनली दे वॉन, दैट वाज जस्ट अमेजिंग क्योंकि वंस अगेन स्पार्टस इतनी ज्यादा बड़ी हिस्ट्री है और उस हिस्ट्री के अंदर फाइनली आपने वो एक डब्ल्यू साइन लगाया है तो खुशी तो आपके चेहरे में होंगी जरूर। बट हे आगे भी बात कंटिन्यू करते रहेंगे लेकिन सीधा चलेंगे टुवर्ड्स दैट ब्यूटीफुल स्टेज क्योंकि हमारी टीम्स आने वाली है ऑन स्टेज टू गेट रेडी विद द बैटल एंड ऑब्वियसली मजेदार मैचेस रहेंगे क्योंकि सामना करेगी टीम एफपीएक्स टीम जेएनजी का।
एग्जैक्टली, बहुत ज्यादा मजेदार मैचेस रहने वाले हैं। लेट्स सी कि एजेंट सेलेक्ट किस तरीके देखने को मिलता है क्योंकि अगेन ये दोनों टीम्स अभी तक कह सकते हैं एक बहुत ऑफ मेटा कॉम्बिनेशन खेलते नजर आए हैं। एफपीएक्स की जहां तक बात की जाए आइसबॉक्स स्पेसिफिकली अगर हम मेंशन करें, ट्रिपल कंट्रोलर पे स्टिक किया था इन्होंने और फुट को परेशान किया था। अब देखना पड़ेगा कि आइसबॉक्स आएगा, बट जेएनजी परफेक्टली डन, आते ही आइसबॉक्स बैन किया उन्होंने।
और लोटस जब पिछली बार भाई आपके नाम और डबल डिजिट्स वाली एक सिचुएशन बनी थी तो ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर लेके आ चुके तो तैयार है। ये तो यहाँ पर टीम जेएनजी भी तैयार है। ऑन द साइड
आइसबॉक्स जेएनजी का तो लोटस भाई बहुत बाप है
फॉर टी स्पोर्ट्स को तो भाई व्हाई नॉट इस बार भी सिमिलर चीज कर सकते हैं बट अगेंस्ट द प्लेयर्स ऑफ जेएनजी, बट जेएनजी मैं बोलूंगा एक स्मार्ट डिसीजन है। और स्पार्टस एक चीज है जो कि यहाँ पर ना एफपीएक्स की तरफ से मैं देखना चाहूंगा वो है अडेप्टेबिलिटी कि भाई देखो तुम जो बाहर की बाकी टीम्स हैं उनके अराउंड तो यू कैन डू वंडर्स, आप आराम से अपने अकॉर्डिंग उन्हें खिला सकते हो। बट एपैक रीजन की जो टीम्स होती है, जो पैसिफिक रीजन की जो टीम्स होती है, ये टस से मस नहीं होती है। इनके दिमाग में जो प्लान
ये लोग ये सब ना वो बता देते हैं क्या बोलते हैं
करते रहते
हैं। और यही कहीं ना कहीं इस क्लैश को और ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग बनाता है क्योंकि अगेन ईएमईए और एनए की जब हम बात करते हैं इन दोनों रीजन्स के अंदर गेम का पेसिंग कंट्रोल बहुत डिफरेंट है। तो चाइनीज टीम्स, एपैक टीम्स वो पेसिंग कंट्रोल में कहीं ना कहीं एक अपर हैंड लेके जाती है इनके खिलाफ और वो मैचेस बहुत इनके फेवर में कहीं ना कहीं गिर जाते हैं। लेकिन अब जब दोनों टीम्स को वो क्योटिक गेम प्ले पसंद है, वो कंट्रोल्ड क्योस करना पसंद है, जब ये आमने सामने आने वाले हैं तो मुकाबला बहुत ज्यादा रोमांचक रहेगा। स्पेशली जब पहला मैप ही लोटस है जिसमें हम सबको पता है कि जेएनजी को हरा पाना एक इम्पॉसिबल टास्क है।
एग्जैक्टली ये टीम बनी है भाई इस पर्टिकुलर मैप के अराउंड बिल्ड हुई है और ऑब्वियसली भाई हमेशा बढ़ती रहती है और नेवर स्टॉप। तो बहुत बड़ा यहाँ पर चैलेंज रहने वाला है टीम एफपीएक्स के लिए। बट आई एम रियली हैप्पी कि भाई अगर इनकी तरफ से कुछ वंडरफुल देखने को मिलेगा। स्पार्टस प्रेडिक्शन की बात करते हैं बिफोर द गेम स्टार्ट, आपको क्या लग रहा है दिल से कि भाई आज इस गेम के अंदर क्या रहने वाला है, कौन सी टीम कैसा खेलेगी?
I still believe कि बहुत सारे aggressive है, but what is going on in FPX? Viper, Omen, Astra with a Gecko and Raze. भाई ये ट्रिपल कंट्रोलर मेटा कोई मुझे आके पर्सनली समझाए तो आगेगा मजा, क्योंकि मैं तो डाइसेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ ये चीजें।
कंट्रोलर इधर डबल कंट्रोलर के फेड
ये इस कॉम्पोजिशन के अंदर पिछली बार भी इन्होंने सेम चलाया था और जो हमारे प्यारे एस्ट्रा है बर्लिन अगर आप इनका फर्स्ट ब्लड परसेंटेज देखें तो इस इंसान ने कह डाल रखा है 16 टाइम्स फर्स्ट ब्लड के लिए गए और 12 बार इस प्लेयर ने फर्स्ट ब्लड निकाला है, मतलब 75% इन्होंने फर्स्ट ब्लड निकाले हैं डिस्पाइट ऑफ द फैक्ट ही इज अ कंट्रोलर। अब आप मुझे काउंटर पॉइंट ये बोलेंगे कि 60% टीम ही कंट्रोलर है, तो आप ये कैसा पॉइंट उठा रहे हैं, बट फिर भी वो फर्स्ट ब्लड ला रहे हैं, इट्स अ ह्यूज थिंग।
एक्चुअली इट्स वेरी ह्यूज, क्योंकि अगेन वो फर्स्ट ब्लड भाई काम नहीं होता है, लेकिन मिल रहे हैं क्योंकि इस तरीके से ये लकअप प्लेस बनते रहते हैं आशा के साथ। इट इज वेरी क्रेजी। इवन फट के खिलाफ जब मैच हुआ था स्कोर लाइन ओवर टाइम के अंदर जाके समाप्त हुई थी, लेकिन अगेन फुट स्पोर्ट्स एक बहुत डिफरेंट तरीके से यहाँ लोटस का मैप खेलती है और जेन जी ये डब्ल्यू गेमिंग मास्टर्स है जिसमें टेक्सचर का रोल सबसे ऊपर रहता है। अब अगर आप टेक्सचर चलेंगे और एफपीएस में काउंटर कैसे करेगी, सबसे बड़ी बैटल इस चीज की रहने वाली है।
अर्ली माउंट कंट्रोल के लिए फाइट जरूर हुई है जिसके अंदर जेंजी अच्छा प्रेशर जरूर बनाया था और उसको वापस रिट्रीट करने में कामयाब हो चुके हैं। लाकिया के ऊपर स्लाइट डैमेज जरूर पड़ा है। आज की अगर मैं एक्सपेक्टेशंस रखूं तो यूजुअली मैं प्रेडिक्शन करता नहीं हूं, लेकिन हमारे करीबी मित्र जिन्होंने बोला है कि भाई मुझे लग रहा है कि आज जेंजी जीतेगी, आई होप कि जेंजी जीते। और ऑब्वियसली वो पैसिफिक रीजन की टीम है ना, तो थोड़ा सा दिल के करीब होती है, तो आई होप कि जेंजी जीते। बट फॉर नाउ प्रेजेंस की बात करें, बी पर कोई भी यहाँ पर प्रेजेंस नहीं आई है अर्ली स्टेज के प्रेजेंस के बाद। एफपीएक्स एक राउंड रोम अराउंड करे एंड देन नाउ
भाई ये
अप टुवर्ड्स।
मैंने देखा है भाई, कोई भी टीम बी के अराउंड नहीं करती कभी भी।
एक स्लो डिफॉल्टी पिस्टल राउंड यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं खेला जा रहा है।
को किसने मारा भाई?
हर जगह कांटेक्ट अभी तक किसी को ऐसा मिला नहीं है, लेकिन अब टुवर्ड्स द सी साइड जहाँ पे रेस के पास कोई ऐसा पेंट शेल और यूटिलिटी बची नहीं है, तो साइड का जब बर्स्ट डाउन होगा तो ये एम का गेम ही कहीं ना कहीं टेक्सचर को खेल के निकालना पड़ेगा। लेकिन बर्लिन इन द मीनवाइल लाकिया को ढूंढते हुए द फर्स्ट ब्लड गोज आउट एंड टेक्सचर स्विंग्स आउट वाइड। पहला फ्रैग, लेकिन इंस्टेंटली ए की तरफ से ट्रेड ऑफ करते होते हुए
है ना भाई, कितना सारा डैमेज दिया देखो।
एचपी बचे हैं, लाइफ भी देखिए 46 एचपी प्लेयर होके बैठा जरूर है। वाटर पुश कर दिया ऑटम ने। ओके माउंट की तरफ ही आई थॉट की फॉल की तरफ जा रहे थे, तो चलिए हम बैक साइड के लिए चेक करने के लिए तैयार है, बट ऐसा कोई है नहीं। पूरी की पूरी टीम सी बैक से यहाँ पर आ रही है एंड सारे प्लेयर्स बेंड के अराउंड ही है। बर्लिन सबसे पहला कांटेक्ट लेने के तैयार थे, बट लाइफ इज द वन जो कि पिक सिक्योर करेंगे। परफेक्ट टाइम पे डिजी आएगा एंड लाइफ जस्ट सिक्योरिंग दैट टू 46 एचपी। डजंट मैटर, आई हैव अ शेरिफ इन माय हैंड, द फर्स्ट पिस्टल इज डन। एफपीएक्स शानदार स्टार्ट,
काफी ज्यादा सेट प्ले बनाया था जेंजी ने टुवर्ड्स द सी माउंट, वहाँ यूटिलिटी बर्न होने का वेट किया, प्रेजेंस बनाई हर जगह और एक स्लो एंड स्टडी डिफॉल्ट का इस्तेमाल करके विद द बेटर एम एंड गेम आराम से सीधा कंट्रोल भी लिया, पिस्टल भी जीता है। और कुछ ऐसे स्टार्ट की जो रिक्वायरमेंट थी पिस्टल के मोमेंटम के साथ, वो तो एफपीएक्स ने अपने पक्ष में खींची है। अब अगला राउंड टाई को है, 80% ऑफ पे आता है ये राउंड, तो एफपीएक्स के लिए इस राउंड में भी आज सच कोई दिक्कतें होनी नहीं चाहिए।
अनटिल अनलेस ऑपोजिशन कुछ वंडरफुल ना कर दे तो आपके पास ये आइडिया रहना चाहिए। ऑब्वियसली अगर टरेट आपने स्पॉट करा है, मतलब सी पे अकेली केजी होगी, तो इसकी वजह से आप अग्रेसिव जा सकते हैं, बट ओ माय ओके दैट्स अ वियर्ड वे टू पीक, बट दैट वाज अ क्विक शॉट बाय द गोस्ट। 105 सर पे गोली एंड दैट्स इट। फिर करना चाहते थे अपने पॉइजन क्लाउड के साथ थोड़ा सा मंचकिन, बट केयरफुल रहना पड़ेगा एफपीएक्स अभी भी। लेकिन सी हिट के लिए दे आर नॉट इवन इंटरेस्टेड, प्लेयर्स अभी भी बी और ए भी बैठने को तैयार है।
लीड आएगा, एक तो लीड आएगा।
ये ऑर्ब्स के अंदर से प्ले में एक आइडिया तो अच्छा है, लेकिन इस ट्रैप में कोई फंसेगा नहीं। आपने पूरा डोर के साथ एक अटेम्प्ट किया था कि शायद सी माउंट पे एक पिंच बन जाए, बट नथिंग एज ऑफ नाउ। ऑल्दो द न्यू स्किन इज हियर, मार्शल का ये जो नया बंडल आया है यूज करते हुए दिखाई
सामने भी लीड आएगा।
भाई मेरी जिंदगी में तो नाइट मार्केट में भी आया था, वो वायदा ही है, तो मैं तो अब स्किन्स को बस दूसरों के हाथों में देख के ही खुश हो जाता हूँ। बट ए ब्यूटीफुल स्किन एंड ब्यूटीफुल परफॉर्मेंस एफपीएस के द्वारा भी शोकेस करी जा सकती है। ऑलरेडी पैरानोया के साथ तैयार है, अगर प्लेयर आता है तो उसे रोकने की कोशिश कर सकते हैं। कैरन दागा भी है और देखिए ट्री की तरफ यहाँ पर इन्वेस्ट करा है उसे, बट 20 साइड की तरफ स्विच हो चुके हैं।
यस, मल्टीपल पिवट्स आराम से एस्केप आउट करने में कामयाब। अब लाइफ के पास अभी भी आउटलॉ है इनके पास जी, ज्यादा दिक्कतें यहाँ पे होने नहीं वाली है। ऑटम इस खिलाड़ी का ये एम गेम बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रांग, और इस हाथ में तो वैंडल है, तो बिल्कुल ही परेशानी नहीं होती भी। बस ऑटम में यही चाहेंगे कि ये जो आउटलॉ एंड शेरिफ का कॉम्बिनेशन है ये अगले राउंड में भी लेके जाया जा सके। कैरन के हाथों फिनिश ऑफ होना नहीं चाहेंगे इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे। Oh, he got the timing as well.
वेपन भी बच गया। यप, और उसके साथ साथ राउंड भी आराम से निकल गया। एंड उसके साथ साथ एक और चीज, लाइफ जस्ट 1 पॉइंट अवे फ्रॉम शो स्टॉपर। और अब आप लाइट शील्ड के लिए यहाँ पर जाने की अपेक्षा कर तो नहीं सकते, लेकिन जेंजी ऑप्टिंग फॉर दैट, 3 प्लेयर्स को करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज यूटिलिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है। टेक्सचर देखिए बूम बॉट पे कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ रहा है। उसके साथ साथ मीटियोर, उन्होंने अलार्म बॉट अभी तक बाय नहीं करा है। इंटरेस्टिंग, क्योंकि वंस अगेन वो वैंडल लाइट शील्ड चाहिए और स्पार्टस ये चीज अच्छी नहीं है। एफपीएक्स के हाथ में वो आउटलॉ है।
अपना पे अपना तो आवाज आना चाहिए ना यार, ये लोग तो देख स्क्रीन। हाँ अपना आवाज आना चाहिए, क्या बोलते हो? मैं नहीं बोलते क्या?
He was the one peeking out from the doors. So दोनों खिलाड़ी जो कांटेक्ट लेने के लिए बैठे हैं, उन दोनों के पास हाफ शील्ड है। ऑटम और रादर लाइफ का फायदा बहुत अच्छे से उठा सकते हैं। सेट प्ले आएगा जरूर बड़ा एफपीएक्स, दे आर वेल अवेयर। और लाइफ का फ्रैग जिसकी बात करें कि दोनों जो खिलाड़ी स्विंग करने के लिए तैयार है, दोनों पे हाफ शील्ड्स है और लाइफ को फायदा मिल सकता है और मिला भी है।
इन सबके बीच में ऑटम देखिए क्रीप इन कर चुके साइड की तरफ। उन्हें साउंड आ चुकी है कि समवन जस्ट ड्रॉप टर्रेट, इनकी पोजीशन बताएगा जरूर। और शो स्टॉपर इन्वेस्टमेंट आ चुकी है, डिजी की वजह से आपको लेफ्ट एंगल क्लियर हो सकता है। मीटियोर जस्ट बर्न्स अ प्लेयर अलाइव। ऑटम वाज जस्ट क्विक विद हिज एम। हॉर्न तोड़ने में थोड़ा सा डिले हो गया, लाके उनको पनिश कर चुके हैं। लीजिए स्पार्टस, इट्स अ 2v3 एंड कंप्लीटली इन फेवर ऑफ एफपीएक्स। ऑटम ही इज जस्ट गोइंग ऑल इन। मीटियोर इस तरीके से सिचुएशन 2v2 बनाई जरूर है और प्लांट हो चुका है। स्पाइक चाहिए, कैरन वेयर आर यू, आपका सपोर्ट चाहिए।
स्टेयर से कहीं ना कहीं वॉक इन करने का अटेम्प्ट है। नाउ अगेन फ्रॉम द अपर, ये सपोर्ट दे जरूर है। मीटियोर ये डुअल जीतना पड़ेगा, नहीं फाइंड्स द फ्रैग एज वेल। टैप करने का मौका बट ऑटम 5 एचपी पे जिंदा, लेकिन अगेन द टाइम इज टिकिंग इन। मीटियोर 1v1 सिनेरियो और ये फुल बाय राउंड कन्वर्ट करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है इस समय जेंजी के लिए। 5 एचपी पे ऑटम, वन टैप इज ऑल ही नीड्स। अ फेक टैप अगेन, ही नोस द इंफॉर्मेशन। ये बेट वापस कराया जरूर मीटियोर, लेकिन हाफ स्टिक करना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी था इन द फर्स्ट टैप। बट मीटियोर फाइंड्स द फ्रैग, लेकिन ये बहुत ज्यादा देर कर दी मेहरबान आते। वेपन भी गिरेगा और साथ ही साथ राउंड भी। ये पहले टैप पे हाफ डिफ्यूजल ना स्टिक करना is just very much questionable.
And then Autumn, clear brilliance भाई, उन्हें पता था कि कुछ ऐसा करा जा सकता है आपके द्वारा। ब्यूटीफुल अप्रोच, क्योंकि साइड का कंट्रोल इन्होंने यहाँ पर अकेले मैनेज करा था। एंड देन उसके बाद ये जो बार बार ट्रेड्स निकाले, ओपनिंग दिलाई है साइड के अंदर, ब्यूटीफुल। अपने अराउंड ही पूरा का पूरा राउंड रिवॉल्व करवा दिया। आखिरी पिक मिला नहीं, भले ही दोनों में से किसी एक का क्वार्टर होना जरूर था, बट इवेंचुअली आपने वेपन गिरा दिया। एंड हम मेंशन कर ही रहे थे स्पार्टस ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है, इट्स 49 to 51। तो क्या ही कर सकते थे। और ये लो, ये तो फ्री फ्रैग्स है, ये तो फ्री फ्रैग्स है बस।
लेकिन अब वहाँ टेक्सचर को भी देखिए, 145 का हेडशॉट मारा है शेरिफ। अनलकी करती रेस पे भी उन्होंने हेडशॉट टिकाया जरूर था, लेकिन फिर वही है कि वेपनरी डिफ हो गया उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर। और मंचकिन के साथ भी कुछ ऐसा ही होने वाला है इस पे। एंड द फ्लैश, द डिजीज जस्ट परफेक्ट। एंड एफपीएक्स ट्रिपल कंट्रोलर मेटा के साथ ये टीम एक अलग कॉम्पोजिशन भी लेके आई है, खेलने का अंदाज भी, और साथ ही साथ रिजल्ट भी शोकेस कर रहे हैं।
तब यहाँ पर स्पार्टस आप क्या ही उम्मीद कर सकते हैं। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये कि ये जो ट्रिपल कंट्रोलर के साथ साथ ये पर्टिकुलर गेको है, क्योंकि देखिए लाइफ, ये तो हमने उस दिन में देखा ही था, लाइफ ऑलवेज प्ले सोलो भाई। उनका तरीका ही ऐसा है कि भाई मैं अपना अलग खेलूंगा, थोड़ा पैक से पिक निकालूंगा, एंड दैट्स हाउ आई एम जस्ट गोना वर्क। अगर मैं मर रहा हूं तो कम से कम ट्रेड के लिए कोई अवेलेबल रहे। उनका काम तो है ही इज जस्ट प्लेइंग एज अ डाइवर हेड फर्स्ट, सिंपल काम, एंड ही इज डिलीवरिंग इट। ऑन द अदर साइड है जो बार बार गेको के साथ बाकी 3 कंट्रोलर्स के अराउंड ये बार बार प्ले बना रहे हैं। बर्लिन का वो हमेशा फर्स्ट कॉन्टैक्ट प्ले वाला थिंकिंग प्रोसेस, ब्यूटीफुल। एंड स्पार्टस फर्स्ट कॉन्टैक्ट प्ले वाला थिंकिंग प्रोसेस, ब्यूटीफुल। एंड स्पार्टस इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये है कि एफपीएक्स भले ही अपना चौथा राउंड जीत रही है, लेकिन उससे भी ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि दिस इज अ ब्लूमिंग टीम। एक समय पर इंटरनेशनल विक्ट्री थी नहीं, जेंजी जैसी टीम को आप परेशान कर रहे हैं।
एग्जैक्टली, और वो भी उनके होम ग्राउंड पे।
एग्जैक्टली
जी का विन परसेंटेज ऑन द मैप ऑफ लोटस 85% से ज्यादा है। पेपर एक जैसी टीम जिन्होंने एपैक की ट्रॉफी अपने नाम करी है, वो भी जेंजी से लोटस में जाके हारे थे। अब यहाँ एफसीएफ को आगाज तो बहुत बढ़िया मिला है, 4-0 है, लेकिन बात वही है कि लोटस बीइंग द अटैकर साइडेड मैप, अभी के लिए तो जेंजी स्ट्रगल कर रही है। बट जेंजी की तरफ से मैं एक टाइम आउट कॉल होते हुए देखना चाहूंगा यहाँ। अब चीजों को बदलेंगे किस तरीके से। डिफेंडर साइड पे अगर 4 राउंड भी जेंजी निकाल लेती है, तब भी उम्मीदें काफी रहेंगी इनके लिए।
भाई थ्रैश अवेलेबल है इस राउंड के अंदर और अग्रेसिव यहाँ पर खेलना चाहती है जेंजी का कॉल यही आया बट ओह माय गॉड दैट वाज जस्ट क्रेजी लाइफ टेक्स वन कैरन ने एक ट्रेड निकाला बस इज इट इनफ इकलौते आप बच